And present them with the Blue Devils souvenir.
Thank you. Here at the Women's Health Center, we support Lebanon High football.
LHS! Of action, Oaks Lassiter Field. Lebanon High will receive the football from Hendersonville. Joel Griffin goes deep to return for the Blue Devils. Kicking it away for Hendersonville will be John Carmack. And here with the second half call, FM 99 Sports Director Clyde Harville.
And Griffin again goes deep. We've seen in his a couple of exciting plays here in the first half. Griffin on a little razzle-dazzle picked up Lebanon's first touchdown on some great faking in the backfield by the Blue Devils. They lost everybody, and Griffin carried it in for about 13 for the score. And then Chris Stafford ripped off about an 80-yard run for the second touchdown, simply outrunning the Hendersonville secondary out at about the 50-yard line and breezing on in for the score. So a couple of big plays for Lebanon. And the defense came up with the first big play, stopping Hendersonville with no score as they had a first and goal from the Lebanon 7 after a dropped punt in the first quarter. We're ready to play. Carmack the kick. Griffin is deep, and here's Carmack's kick going for the corner away from Griffin. Hits at the 5, goes through the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 20 again. He got it away from Griffin as he hooks it in that corner and gets it into the end zone.
You know, I believe these guys have got a pretty good memory, Clyde. It was last year when Griffin broke the game open against Hendersonville. I believe it was a kickoff, opening kickoff. He brought back all the way against these guys, and they're not taking any chances. They do not want to kick it to old number 22.
You're definitely right, and they're doing a good job getting it in the corner just inside the pylon, not getting it out of bounds, which would bring it out to the 35. First and 10 Lebanon. Wideouts left and right on their own 20. Pitt will make the call. Quick opener to Reeves, the little fullback, and he'll jam up in there for about 4 yards. Out to about the 24-yard line goes Reeves, the fullback, keeping those legs churning. Will move it for a solid 4, bring up 2nd and 6 for the Blue at that point.
Hendersonville not bringing what you'd call a great crowd with them tonight. Kind of sparse on the bleachers across the way. Of course, they're 1-6 on the year.
It's sparse when you're 1-6.
Yeah, we've been there.
2nd and 6 for Lebanon. Pitt makes the call. Going to give it to Stafford. Sliding outside. Got a little room. Stafford out to the 30 and dropped at that point. He's close to first down yardage, but I don't think he quite has it. They'll mark it at about the 30-yard line, and he's got to go to about the 30, so he may have it. Let's see. They're going to put the nose of the football. If they move it an inch, they've got a first down. They've got to touch the 30, and it's almost touching the 30.
That's as close as you can get without being on that yard marker.
3rd and none for Lebanon, let's call it. If they move it, it's a first down. Wideouts left and right. And Pitt with a quarterback sneak. He's got 5, 6, 7 yards. Squirts over the 35 out to the 37-yard line, so Pitt gets a little more for good measure. He was stopped momentarily at the line of scrimmage and then just kind of shot through for about 5, 6 more yards.
Well, they took their nose guard and kind of dropped him into the gap on the right offensive side, and Pitt just squirted right through next between the block of Clemens and Higgs, and picks up good yardage there on the 3rd down play.
1st and 10 Blue Devils. They bring Zachary and C to the near side. Carson in tight on the far side, and Pitt will give it to Stafford, and Stafford with a little room barrels out over the 40. Loose football. Hendersonville's got it up at the 49-yard line. Hendersonville again getting every break in the book. Comes up with a football in Lebanon territory at the Lebanon 49-yard line. Stafford had picked up about 8 yards on the play, and then the ball just squirts forward. I don't know if somebody punching at it and knocked it free or that bad hand just couldn't hold it over there, but he lost it, and they'll put it at the Lebanon 48, and Hendersonville will have it 1st and 10 from that point.
Mike Higdon with the recovery for the Commandos.
Vogler in motion. He gets the call, turns it back, going to make the 45. He's loose. 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. Tressler's going to knock him out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. At about the 2, let's see where they're going to put it. They're going to put it at the 5, and it'll be 1st and goal. Vogler making a great cut, catching the Blue Devils flat-footed, carries it down to the 6-yard line where it'll be 1st and goal. And, guys, the Blue Devil defense is going to have to bow their backs a little bit in this ball game.
Well, absolutely, Clyde. They run the little buck sweep, and he just looks for a place to turn it up. And he got the great yardage, Terry Stafford, on the run.
From the 48, he runs all the way down, finally run out of bounds at the Lebanon 6. That's good for 42 yards for Vogler. First down, Hendersonville on the Lebanon 6.
And Tressler making a TD saving tackle at the 6-yard line. Hendersonville wants time to talk about
cheerleader LHS. We're here with Val Vestola from Kenneth O. Lester to thank him for his support and present him this football souvenir.
Thank you. The Kenneth O. Lester Company is proud to be a supporter of the Lebanon High School football program.
Let's go blue!
Food to Families drive is still underway at Lebanon High School. The goal is 40,000 cans in the competition against Gallatin High School. And, of course, we go to Gallatin for the game next week, and they're collecting cans like crazy. And we want to be able to beat them on the field and beat them in the can competition as well. So let's kick Gallatin's can and bring some cans to Lebanon High School this week.
Here comes Hendersonville. Let's stop this Hendersonville drive. First of all, Lebanon trying to hang on to a 14-7 lead. They give it to Vogler. Same play. He's hit. He don't get back to the 5. He's dropped at the 6. No gain as Lebanon swarm into the football that time. They gave it to Vogler again on the same identical play that they had the big gainer on a moment ago, but this time Lebanon snuffs it out at the 6.
John, it looked like the defense really read their keys and just outmanned Hendersonville right there.
Well, Tommy, we've seen that play enough this year. We ought to know what's coming, so that's exactly what they did. They went right through the offensive blocks and saw it coming and made the big stop.
Here comes Hendersonville, 2nd and goal from the 6. Case split to the left, the only receiver out. Everybody else is in tight wing formation. And back to throw is Miller. Looks, fires in the middle. Touchdown, Hendersonville. Lebanon slapped at it, had a couple of defensive backs slapping at it, but it's complete to Larry Brown for the score. Is it Brown? It isn't. It is David Sudicum. Sudicum making the grab for the touchdown in the end zone, and it's 14-13 Lebanon, and Hendersonville can tie it up with a PAT right here, and we'll go down to John for the call.
Thank you, Clyde. Punting unit for the extra point unit is in the game for Hendersonville. Once again, John Carmack will be the kicker. Miller to hold. And we got a penalty on the play coming from our referee. We'll see what the call is. Going to be a legal procedure against Hendersonville. That will back them up 5 yards, so we'll try it again at that point as the offensive unit huddles to one side. Carmack gets his spot. Miller once again to hold. The long snapper is Jamie Anderson. And another penalty, so we may never get this extra point taken.
It's a legal procedure again, and I thought it was Lebanon again, but John, another illegal procedure, and we're going to have them back out of field goal range in a moment.
This is going to be a good little kick, you know, with the 10 yards there for the 2 penalties. Hendersonville's going to take it now. Once again, Carmack again lines it up again. Let's see if we can get this one off with Miller to hold. The snap is back. It's down. No flags. The kick is up. It's going to be wide right. No good. Lebanon retains the lead, 14-13.
We're here at the First Insurance Group to thank them for their support and to give them this souvenir.
I'm happy to accept this presentation on behalf of First Insurance Group.
Go Big Blue!
Recovery going 48 yards in 3 plays. Sudicum with the touchdown reception from 6 yards. The extra point is missed, so with 9:15 left in the third, Lebanon leads Hendersonville 14-13.
Here's Carmack's kick, long and deep this time. Boy, he's going to put this one into the end zone right over the head of the Lebanon fast man back there, and they'll bring it out to the 20. That time he didn't try to kick it away from Griffin. He just kicked it over his head into the end zone.
Lebanon had a good little drive going until the fumble, and I, like you, Clyde, concerned about Chris Stafford's thumb if they punched the ball loose or if that came as a result of Chris having that big bandage on there. But Chris back out there at tailback.
He was holding that arm when he came off, Tommy, but he's back in there at tailback now. Lebanon wideouts left and right. Hankins to the near side. They give it to Stafford. Shakes a tackle behind the line, out to the 25. Stafford got some room, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Stafford on the way, 45, 40, 35, 30. Stafford tripped up from behind, and he makes the 20-yard line. They'll give him the 22 is all they're going to give him, and another great run by Stafford That time, just using ability, he escaped the tackle a yard behind the line of scrimmage and made that big gain.
Good job, John. A little excitement on that Lebanon sideline. We haven't seen much of that lately.
Tommy has got a lot to be excited about. Chris is over here on the sideline. He's definitely either winded or maybe be favoring that arm a little bit. I think he caught a helmet on that arm on that last fumble.
Wideouts left and right. Hand it off, and here goes Reeves up the middle, and Reeves still on his feet, flying over the 20, over the 18, down inside the 17, near the 16-yard line, and Reeves, the fullback, carrying some people with him up the middle, and he's developing into a tough little inside runner.
Terry, what about that run by Chris Stafford?
Tommy, from the 20, it looked like he might go coast to coast again. He's finally tackled at the 22, 58-yard run by Chris Stafford.
Lebanon now with a second down 4. Good gain on first down by the Blue Devils. Wideouts left and right. Pitt makes the call. Pitt pitch back to Griffin into the tailback. Griffin's got a little room. Turns it at the 15. He's inside the 10 and run out of bounds down near the 5. Let's see where they're going to put it. We'll have to wait and see on that corner over there. Where do they put the ball? I think they're going to bring it all the way back out to the 10, but it's going to be first and goal from that point.
We see Dr. Kalin examining Chris Stafford over here, and maybe John here in a minute can get us some kind of idea what the situation is with the Lebanon senior tailback, Chris Stafford.
First and goal, Lebanon. Ball just at the 10-yard line. Lebanon with double wideouts. Reeves the fullback. Griffin is the tailback, and Pitt makes the call. Straightens up, looks, fires to the near side. Touchdown, Carson.
Good protection by that offensive line, Clyde, as he was able to backpedal, wait for Carson to clear, and he nails him with the pass for the touchdown. Nice job by the offensive front, getting the time for the quarterback, Damon Pitt, and Carson with his 4th touchdown catch of the year. John, you've got the call on this PAT attempt.
Thank you, Tommy. Gannon again in the long snap. Tressler to hold. Zachary to attempt the point after. The snap is back. It's down. The kick is long enough. It is no good. Wide right, says the official. So the score now, Lebanon 20, Hendersonville 13.
Hello, I'm Laura Pack, a senior varsity football cheerleader at Lebanon High School. We are here with the First United Methodist staff to thank them for their support and present to them this Blue Devil football souvenir.
First Church would like to wish the Blue Devils a successful season.
We invite you to our Sunday school and worship services.
Come see us at our new Family Life Center opening this fall.
Go Big Blue!
Kick it off, and Risha and Vogler is deep. And here is Zachary's kick. Lebanon lady squibbles it on the ground. Picked up at the 25. Out at the 30. Drops at the 33. Making the tackle for the Blue Devils down there is Chris Cantrell to make the stop for Lebanon, and they'll spot it at the 33.
Cantrell and Preer helping out on that play. Joel Preer. Terry, what about that touchdown drive by Lebanon?
Tommy, Lebanon going 80 yards. It only takes them 4 plays as Damon Pitt hits Elliott Carson, 10-yard touchdown pass. The extra point fell, so with 8:05 left in the game, Lebanon now leading Hendersonville 20-13.
All right, now Lebanon defense going to have to bow their backs. Here's a little double handoff, and Lebanon gets a piece of him, and he gets a yard. And making the stop is Big Alls, along with Kelly from a linebacker spot. And they stop him for a yard gain at the 34, and it will be second down 9 for Hendersonville at their own 34-yard line.
Jeremy Stafford comes out of the game at defensive end, and we'll set that Lebanon defense across the front. Gannon and Carson at the 2 end spots. Cantrell in there at nose. Clemens and Alls are your defensive tackles. Linebackers are Kelly and Griffin.
And here's that wing back in motion again. And back to throws Miller, rolling out wide, fires, and Lebanon got a hand on it. I think Kelly, the linebacker, may have gotten a hand on that pass. He was going that time for Vogler up at about the 45-yard line. Did you see that, Tommy? I thought it was Kelly that may have got a hand on that pass.
Looked like Kelly dropping deep in the curl zone, in the hook zone. Linebacker gets a hand out there and just tips it away. Good job by getting some depth on the pass play. In the secondary for Lebanon, we've got Lehue at the strong corner, Damon Pitt at a corner, and our 2 safeties, Ron C. and Todd Tressler.
And it's a 3rd and 9. No gain on the play from the 34, so the Blue Devils need to come up with a big defense.